Welcome back to the Break Room, where we give you updates on everything nerd news from our very own Break Room, which is a little sketchy, a little weird.
People want to come in here. They want to eat salads. They want to eat snacks. We won't allow it.
And we want to yell over them. We want to definitely be involved too much in what they're eating.
Funny thing is, we keep inviting people to take their breaks during this, and they refuse. Many of them quit.
They're all standing just off camera, begging to come in here, but we won't allow it.
We asked Ashley if she wanted to be on with her salad, and she just walked out the door and never came back.
Never came back. If you
I
see
didn't even know
Ashley
she worked here
wandering
in the first
around
place.
with a salad, send her home.
Send her back here.
I want to do a few rumor confirmations.
No.
A lot of people are wondering what's on my shirt today.
No one was.
It is, it's French's mustard.
Oh, look at that shirt cam.
Is it French's mustard, or did I just go through a paint universe?
Whoa.
Wait.
If you want to be the mustard on Tommy's shirt, you know, we're open to sponsors for the mustard, okay?
That's right. I'm not a French's loyalist or anything. I hate the French.
Bucky's, hit us up.
You naming all of them?
Sir Kensington's delicious
New
mustard
Rockstars
flavors.
Inc. at gmail.com.
Grand Poupon,
Gros poupon?
balls in your cocotte.
Oh my God. Either way, with all this mustard talk, Colonel Mustard, Clue, Clue,
just
going off.
You going pseudo consciousness
First
right
off,
now?
Remember when John was like, we gotta introduce the show a little
stop
quicker?
going. So what we're going to do, what I want to say first and foremost is that if you've seen Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, great. If you haven't, we are going off today.
Yeah,
we are spoiling.
We're popping off.
We're popping off, as Tommy would say.
Colonel Sanders, dead in the movie. Michael Jackson remains dead in the movie. In all universes.
But we will be spoiling and talking about it, and it's not even gonna be like, oh, spoilers are coming. We're gonna just say it in passing.
We're not even putting the banner up. In fact, we're gonna try and trick
Oh,
you.
no, the banner's
Banner's up. Banner's staying up.
Oh, that's gone. Now
Banner's back up.
Oh, he ripped his
Oh, I
notes.
need this for later.
Oh God. Well, either way, he needs those notes because coming up, we're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff. Doctor Who?
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who? We're getting a new doctor, a 14th
Who?
doctor. James Gunn says goodbye, farewell.
Vitas and good night.
I leave and heave. Either way, he says goodbye to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Sorry to spoil that for you guys. Moon Knight writers are just as surprised at some of the outcomes as the fans are.
How is that possible?
I can't wait to get into it. Because it's
What did
so
they just
insane.
write? Improvised at the
The
last page of their
director
script?
said, you know what? Cut that entire page out. Let me throw in my own.
I forgot they edit these things. I refuse to let any of my work be edited. That's why.
Oh,
That's why we're live, baby.
Unlike Dr. Moon Knight. We got some sweet Doctor Strange updates that are filled with spoilers again, just want to reiterate. And we're going to give you our Illuminati. I'm also brought here today with some very beautiful men. All of them are my suitors. Right next to me, we got Brandon Barrick.
Yes.
Hello. Suitor number one. For suitor number two, we got Tommy Bechtold.
Jessica, my moon and stars, I'd do anything for you.
Perfect.
I'd die for you, and then I'd come back to life.
Oh, no.
Or die again every day.
Oh, God. Coming at number three is Zach Huddleston.
Burbank bad boy. Zach
see,
Huddleston.
And you can take that to the bank.
That's
Burbank.
Right over at San Fernando Boulevard. Here we are.
Stop saying where we are.
Yeah. He's running from Olive all the way up to
Alameda.
Magnolia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're all the way from the Gus's fried chicken to the
Stop! Okay.
Russ's fried chicken.
Oh, God. Okay. So, anyways, if you guys have any Multiverse of Madness questions, absolutely any, please leave them in the chat.
Yes.
One of our producers, Dodson, will gather them for us, and we will answer them all at the end with
We're
a
already getting
lengthy
some good
Q&A.
ones.
Yeah.
We
Folks
are
already
getting
found
good
some
ones.
good ones. We're going to be answering a lot of questions today.
And also to keep in mind, we're going to be answering some. The super chats are going to go into the swear jar.
Wow.
I know that I always mess up this swear jar discussion, so feel free to jump in and yell at me that I'm saying it wrong. But the super chats are now going to go into the swear jar, and if we reach 100, one of us can claim to swear.
Yeah.
Wow.
Only one, not all of us this time.
Philip is pissed with our silver tongues on this show.
Good use of pissed.
Yeah,
We're
like
not
that.
counting piss
No,
as
That's not
a
a
swear.
swear.
Yes,
Here's
it's a
what's
swear.
fine. Pissed. Heck. Shoot.
But
Crap.
But.
Cheese and crepes.
Vondruk. Crudgeon. Flip-jacking,
Christ-Honor Christini.
crackleberries,
But anything north of that,
son of a batch of cookies.
anything north of PG-13, we're counting as a curse. So we're going to hold ourselves accountable. No free curses.
No free curses.
But the second the swear jar fills up, then the first one of us who
right.
can jump on it gets a free
Jar
curse.
gets full, and I'm like, ding dong Dixon, baby.
Oh gosh. Let's get into these headlines.
Okay, big part of the break room here is that we're going to bring you all the news that's worth chatting about. And we've got some non-Doctor Strange news, but then we got a whole lot of Doctor Strange news we're going to cover. First, the non-Doctor Strange news. We got that Avatar 2 trailer dropping on the front end of Multiverse of Madness. If you all saw that, we certainly did. Eric has a breakdown coming out tomorrow.
Sick.
He's getting knee-deep in Na'vi tomorrow.
Right. He's linking with everybody.
Take him out. Throw him away.
Sees
Throw him away.
you.
Eric is out there trying to chuck his braid inside of everyone in San Francisco. He's loose with the braids.
Any fictional whales that you can throw at him, Eric is gonna dissect them. Okay, and then on to other headlines. There's a new doctor, and MT is freaking out because now I should have Googled how to pronounce this young man's name, but Nkuti Gatwa, does that sound about right? Has been cast as the 14th Doctor. He, you might have seen him in the
love
Netflix.
him in Sex Education.
Yes, that's just great,
Phenomenal.
and he's really good in it. So
actor.
that's gonna be fun, right? Every time we get a new Doctor, it's always a lot of fun.
Really fun scene. Season 2, episode 1 in Sex Education with the main character in the car. Just fast forward to it.
Okay.
It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Let's just say the fountain at Bellagio looks like a slow trickle compared to what happens in that car.
Okay, Daddy.
Okay, good to know.
We
Still
got
not swearing.
no swears. The allusions are gratuitous. We got word that Ahsoka Tano, the series, has started shooting.
So close.
I butchered that.
You just
name.
said Del Dazeem.
Yeah, you did.
You said Ashoka Tano.
Ahsoka. Is it Ahsoka?
Yeah, the H is silent.
It's Tano.
Tano.
Tano, my man.
Tano. Ahsoka Tano.
No, just started shooting.
I wasn't even mad at the last name. It was the first name where you said, I was like, okay.
Are you a cop? You have to tell us if you're a cop.
Are you a cop?
He's wearing a wire.
Are you a prostitute? I'm not a cop. You also have to tell us if you're a prostitute.
No, they don't. Okay.
It's more fun if you guess.
So that's fun. So we're presumably, just real quick, Ahsoka, we know we're about to get Obi-Wan. Sometime after that, we're getting Cassian Andor.
Okay.
Sometime after that, we're getting Mandalorian Season 3. Presumably, Ahsoka is the one after that?
I would hope so.
So, yes.
My sources at WikiLeaks tell me that is the correct order.
And then is it sometime after that we get Knights of the High
I
Republic?
think after that we get a Ghostbusters Star Wars crossover.
Oh my God, I've been waiting
Who
for
you gonna
that.
call?
Well,
Okay.
there's also Bad Batch 2.
Oh,
in
yeah.
there
Oh,
somewhere.
sure.
That's still in there.
Sure, yeah, just talking live action, but that
Thanks to
expands
the
the world.
High Republic would be, that'd be special.
Right. Well, you heard it here first. On to some sweet Marvel updates. As Jessica previously mentioned, James Gunn shared a heartfelt goodbye to Guardians of the Galaxy on Twitter. Not that they're going anywhere. We haven't even gotten that movie yet.
Right.
But they wrapped filming on presumably his final Guardians movie. We don't know for sure, but everybody's kind of behaving like this might be the end of an era. His post said, after over 100 days of shooting and over 3,000 shots, this is the slate for the final shot of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Presented to me by the camera crew, it was an easy shot of Rocket seated, first with Sean Gunn, and then nothing there, and took everything in me not to break down sobbing on the spot.
What a coward.
Oh my God.
I do love it. Every time I'm reminded that Sean Gunn does all the mocap for Rocket, I'm like, oh, how nice. And again, you know, if you're going to get to pick your siblings, pick one who's going to become a famous director.
Yeah.
Why not?
and then have an agreeable sibling that'll do very difficult motion capture. for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, him as Weasel was a little too much.
Apparently, he seems like he's great at it. On to some Moon Knight news. That was written in the prompter
No,
that
it
way.
wasn't.
That was not a Zach ad-lib. If I was ad-libbing, it'd be on to Oink 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 Moon Knight. Okay.
Did you guys know that beluga whales can mimic human speech?
That can't be true.
It's true. They lure divers to the surface. Anyway.
What is it? What are they, sirens? What is this?
They lure divers
This
to
is
the
how they
surface.
mimic it.
Yeah, they lure divers. That's from The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Those Belugas got voices of angels.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had my balls cut off when I was little. It's made my singing voice incredible. Balls are fine.
Castrati Bechtold over here.
They call me the Castrati Kid. Hi-ya!
Oh my God.
Castrati Bechtold.
Literati
Okay.
Castrati.
All right. We haven't even got through the headlines yet. What a mess. Jeremy Slater, head writer of Moon Knight, revealed they made different versions teasing Gorr the God Butcher's arrival
Oh, how nice.
in Moon Knight.
Someone predicted that on this table here.
Yeah, one of us was guessing that there'd be a little crossover. Maybe Gorr showing up to slay the Ennead. Was that you, Brandon?
I'll take it.
I was like, too bad they were
Sounds like
wrong.
something smart, I would say.
They're smart.
Sometimes it would be rumors where the gods would subtly talk of Gorr the God Butcher or someone killing gods. So it's not like they were going to do full-on Christian Bale walking into the pyramid. It was going to be more alluded to. They generally knew the beats of Love and Thunder so that nothing would contradict.
Oh, well, that is some goddamn fucking great news.
Swear jar!
Bam! Felt
Tommy
good.
Seitz.
Sorry, my nephew who's watching. James, plug your ears, buddy, and rewind it.
Okay.
Here's
Good,
rewind.
good catch, Tommy. He's the first one to notice we'd filled up that swear jar.
I've been staring at that thing the whole show. That's why I don't make eye contact with you.
He got a
You're a
big juicy
horrible
double
person.
in there. Okay. Mohammed Diab, the director of Moon Knight, mentioned a scene where Stephen and Mark confront their mom in the White Void.
Whoa.
That scene apparently got cut out for the final draft of the series.
Did we see a scene of her like in one of the rooms?
Yeah, I thought she was like
I
yelling
thought she
at him.
was.
Was that
yeah.
in the
Well, I thought
teaser
that was a
trailer?
quick cut from when they were in, like maybe they were picturing it in their
Well,
kind of vision. And
Was she
saw
not one
her-
of the women that were in the?
She wasn't one of the women in
Oh,
the bingo area. I think there was like, maybe I'm misremembering it, but there was like a teaser featurette, trailer before one of the episodes where I thought we saw her in one of the rooms, like banging on the glass door to get out, much like Mark and Stephen had been. But I think they cut that. That obviously wasn't in the show.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleuthy viewers, maybe let us know if that really
Yes,
happened or
sleuthy
if
viewers.
Brandon is tripping.
And
you
just
said-
call in the tip line if you
Call
can.
in the
call
tip
the tip
line,
line.
guys.
What's
Hit
the
that
number?
1-800 that's at the bottom.
Oh God.
Oh, it's an 800 number? Never mind. I thought it was a 900.
The scene in Moon Knight where they step on the bird bones that looked like Khonshu was not scripted.
Whoa.
Someone didn't clean bird
They just
bones
found
on
a bird
set?
there?
It is so funny that they straight
How's
up
that
were just
possible?
like, the writer was just like, I don't know why they might have found a dead bird the day of,
It must
or
have been
they
the
put it
props
in.
department.
Yeah,
It was
Some
like,
poor art department intern was just sitting around trying to get coffee for everyone. No one's there. The director runs in like, I need bird bones right now.
Or the sickest prop PA of all time slaughtered a bird.
Oh yeah.
whoa,
Was
and
just
bleached
was
bird
just,
bones.
was just
boil it
field
down.
dressing it and then was like, anybody want these bird bones?
But I do think because like Eric had mentioned, like there is this potential theory that like none of those memories are real. They've all been implanted
Yes.
by Khonshu. But that maybe kind of pokes because one of his pieces of evidence were those bones there. But maybe it's just kind of like a quick reference. It's not meant to have big plot implications.
Yeah.
And then Slater also mentioned that it wasn't in the script, right? The bird bones. He doesn't know if they found that out on the day or if it was added. He didn't mean, wasn't sure what it meant. Again, it was just kind of a cool visual reference that they threw in there, not meant to be more.
Got it.
Okay, now some Doctor Strange news, which there's tons of. The film made
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. Can you just break
Doctor
down who
Strange in the
Doctor-
Multiverse of Madness?
Oh, right. Okay, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah, we saw it last week, remember? We talked about it for several days in a row.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay. You get this guy on mustard and everything.
Mustard gas.
Okay. The film made $185 million at North American movie theaters over the weekend. I think it's over $400 million globally, which, those numbers, right, can seem fake. They can seem absurd. We're post-pandemic. The numbers are all off. And like, what do you compare it to? I mean, how much this is affected by AMC and Regal upcharging, right? It costs more money to go see Doctor
That's
Strange than it
right.
does to see the bad guys.
right.
Or,
I paid $1,000 to see the Batman.
Okay, wait a minute.
You might have
I think,
overpaid.
yeah, I think
Well,
you
no,
went
it was
to
just a
weird
guy
scalper.
who he said he was projecting it on his chest.
Tommy, what were you paying for?
I was right up on San Fernando near Zach when he's running shit.
Stop saying
He
where
said,
we
for
are.
$1,000, I'll show you Batman on my chest.
And you said, I'm in for
I said,
2
I'll
hours.
give you $2,000 because you're getting a tip, my friend.
You're getting a tip of another grand.
it was reported that apparently Rachel McAdams was set to actually play 3 variants. So we saw 2
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams
Right.
versions, right? But apparently there was going to be a third one. She of course played the normal 616 Christine.
Yeah.
She saw the scientist variant. Who do you think might have been that third variant?
No, I will say that I loved the growth of that character from the first movie into the second. I was a little worried at first, not having paid too much. I try to like kind of only half watch the trailers because I wanted to be a little bit surprised. I thought it was going to be her wedding, and then that was going to be it for her. And I was like, I'm glad that they have such a good actress doing that part, but man, it was awesome to have her be like someone with a ton of agency and helping and moving the plot
Especially
along.
her scientist variant,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
she did a
love
lot. She
that
got
character.
to zap some demons, right?
I think a third variant might have been like in the Evil Strangers, like
yeah.
Inky World, right? Like a Mr. Freeze style, like frozen
Yes,
Christine.
oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm trying to find a way to heal her.
Ooh, that would be awesome. Everybody, chill.
I think I want her to play like a major part and have her be the Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange be the Christine. Only because in the interview, she was talking about how she was so excited to do a lot of action because she was like, I never get to do action movies. And when I do, I'm not the one doing the action moves.
Yeah.
So it was nice playing a different Christine that's out of the hospital and doing something different because she got to get out of that zone of being just like in the hospital all the time. So I'm like, go the extra mile. Make her the superhero.
Got plowed down by a bus in Mean Girls.
That was
Not much of a stunt there, right? Yeah.
Action.
she did get hit by a bus.
Michael Waldron, who wrote Multiverse of Madness and also head writer on Loki, he said in an interview when asked why Kang didn't show up in Multiverse of Madness, he said the best bullets came from Wanda in this film, right? And so if you introduce Kang, you would have risked the movie getting overstuffed. There's already so much going
Completely
on in this
true.
film, right? Like more bad characters, more villains, right? Like it diffuses the situation. More is not better. No.
It feels like you would have to be pitting them against each other and being like, well, who's the best villain, Wanda or Kang? And I'm like, don't put me in that world. Like, I'm going to say Wanda right now because I love that Wong, it was so good for me. I was eating this shit up, eating this crap up.
Wow, mute her.
No.
What are we doing? Are we going to figure out how to punish him yet? John, make up a punishment on the spot and yell it out to us.
Docker pay.
I was eating, no, I need more money. Because if I don't get money, how am I going to watch some more movies?
All right.
So I was eating.
Good point.
I was eating up what Wong said when Wong was straight up just like, she is either going to rule the universe or like kill everybody. And I was like, that person is so strong. Don't put Kang up against
Well, and that's
her
what
right
the
now.
Darkhold says too, right? That the Scarlet Witch will either like rule or destroy the
Yeah.
universe.
Yes.
Like it's all.
It's like Kenneth from 30 Rock.
Yeah.
Someday we'll all work
Plus,
for him
I
or
think-
die at his hand.
the first time we see Kang in the movies, he's gonna have to be re-explained.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, we can't assume that everyone
Technically,
watched
he's been
Loki.
in one episode
Right.
of
I
a
think-
Disney series.
I was trying to figure out if that was a good or bad thing to introduce Kang in Loki season 2 or in Loki season 1 because I was like, now we're always like, when is he gonna appear next? Because it's
Right.
Kang.
Right.
We're constantly like, he's gotta be in
Yeah, but
this.
they did that with Thanos, right? Just
Yeah,
little
that's true.
trickles,
It was
little
Yeah.
trickles with Thanos.
Yeah.
Well,
Hasn't
at
been
least
as
you saw the
consistent
trickles.
with
Yeah,
him per
exactly.
se. But Elizabeth Olsen did an interview and she said she expects to return in the MCU.
I'm so happy that there's someone else besides Chris Hemsworth that's like, I will do as many of these movies.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
This is a great gig.
It feels like everybody else, whether they are doing it to be cagey or coy or because they already know they're coming back and they're misdirecting, whenever they finish a movie, they're like, this is probably it. I don't know. I mean, this could be over for us. And Elizabeth Olsen is like, I signed an extension after every movie.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I'll be pissed if I'm not back.
you know, we don't know. Everybody has like different opinions on work in general, different priorities in their life.
Sure.
It's like no shots at anybody that's like, 2 or 3 of these and I'm good. You know, Robert Downey Jr. is ready to move on.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. But I agree. It's awesome when people are like, I'll do these till I die.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that as long as you'll have me back. I will
if
show
I can,
up.
in front of a blue screen, go like this, and it's like red will shoot out, and people's heads will get burned off. Like, yeah.
Well, and especially this first generation of Marvel actors, right, which she's included in, she's kind of the only person that's ever played Scarlet Witch.
Right.
She owns that character,
Yes,
you know
she
what I
is.
mean? And she can continue to own it as long as she wants,
Yeah.
you know?
Agreed.
Back to Michael Waldron, he said, we always knew we wanted to introduce Clea as Strange's new love interest. About, of course, that first post-credit scene where we got Charlize Theron as Clea. He said she has a fascinating backstory. She's a niece of Dormammu. And they have a lot of great adventures in the comics, but we first had to close the book on Christine. That's interesting.
Close the Darkhold book?
Well, I mean, kind of fittingly, right? Strange got his closure on Christine, right?
He fixed
kind
the
of
watch.
With ironically a different Christine,
Yes.
right? But having that different Christine allowed him to kind of let her go.
I don't like that being the closure.
He had no business being at the wedding, being like, I love you. Like, get out of here, buddy.
Yeah.
This is not the day.
Yeah, come on.
This is not your day, Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
okay? Know your place.
Your behavior
Know
is
your
strange.
It's
but-
very
and it's
strange.
off-putting.
It's very strange.
Also, maybe a little weird to invite your ex to your wedding. I don't know.
I think
Didn't
it's
seem
fine.
like a-
I think
He
it's
was
fine.
dusted. He was dusted.
I think it's fine as long as your ex isn't a superhero. Because there's too many people
I
that
think
were
you
like,
do have to
I'm a
invite your
fan.
ex. If Sleeping Beauty taught us anything,
Yeah.
it's you invite the most powerful magic person to the big
Okay.
party.
That's right.
Or else they show up pissed.
That's
You
right.
bring this up.
Long
You bring this up
consequences.
every episode.
Every
if Sleeping
episode.
Beauty taught us anything.
Someday, my prince.
That's not Sleeping Beauty, but I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Who is that?
That's Snow White.
We've got a deep,
not it.
wonderful roster of great questions that folks have submitted.
Yes. We gotta
all
get
your Multiverse of Madness questions. Submit those. We're trying to accumulate all the winners, and we're going to answer a bunch of these at the end of this episode. But first, we want to shout out the folks that help us bring this episode to you. And that's a big old delicious thanks to our friends at HelloFresh. Thank you to our friends at HelloFresh. We actually just got this delivery at the New Rockstar's office. We're opening it up.
What's on the
What are we
menu?
making?
Oh, what are we making
There's more than
here?
one. I wanna know.
Dibs on the pork balls.
White cheddar cheeseburgers.
Spicy maple chicken.
I got the sweet chili pork bowl.
Each meal comes in a bag like this. Here, what's in the spicy maple chicken?
You want me to open this
bag,
bad boy
Tommy?
up?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what we got here for the spicy maple chicken. Well, boys and girls, we got green beans.
Yeah.
We got yams or sweet potatoes, depending on where you're from.
Things fall apart.
We got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, you name it. We got some chili flakes.
Okay, well, we don't gotta get all the way through all the
We
ingredients.
got more green beans. Oh my
great
God,
thing.
there's enough to feed a small army in here.
Yes.
Or one Tommy.
And then your chunk of meat here, your chicken comes separate. And so
I love chunks of meat.
we're going to eat this stuff
Yes.
and report back. Thank you, HelloFresh.
Thank you,
Can't wait to make my
HelloFresh.
sweet chili pork bowl.
Yum, 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 yum.
I can't wait.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So that was the unboxing.
Did you say
of
great
our-
to yourself?
Of our HelloFresh. Yeah. Taking it
Zach.
back to you, Zach, from Zach. Yeah, we're going to be actually eating those HelloFresh meals over the
Yes.
course of the week and reporting back. Maybe you'll see some cool home footage from folks' kitchen. But get yourself some farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep with HelloFresh. They make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable, and that's why they're America's #1 meal kit. We're going, like I said, report back over the course of the week on how delicious the HelloFresh kit was. Did you know HelloFresh is 72% cheaper than restaurant dining? Tommy and I were just discussing a $61 beef tartare.
Woo, baby, Mother's Day. Thank God it only comes once a year because I can't be the only one only coming once a year.
For that amount, you could
What?
get like a week worth of HelloFresh for the cost of one beef tartare that Tommy treated somebody to. Or save that money, spend it on IMAX movie tickets, buy your cool T-shirts, whatever you like. HelloFresh is also letting you customize your favorite dishes. You can swap out proteins. You can do different side dishes. Brandon insists on pork in every meal.
Oh, I insist on pork. You gotta eat all these pigs. They're too smart. They're gonna overtake us.
So if you want to join us in our HelloFresh adventures
Yes.
and dine along with us, go to hellofresh.com/breakroom16. That number is important. Use code breakroom16 because you'll get up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts.
And no BS. I am going to use that code.
Please.
Because I need to start cooking at home. That's a great deal. And I just want to mention, baby, if you're watching, you were worth every penny of that. And all me and Zach were saying was how delightful you were,
Zach threw you under
how
the
much we
bus.
love you.
There was no regret. It was just like, wow, sometimes dishes cost a lot.
No regret,
you
only
know?
dismay when my bank account was like, are you sure, buddy? Hey, just a quick mobile alert that you are negative. And it's not just your attitude about this tartare, my man. All right.
We also want to shout out our friends at the Epic Hero Shop. We've got a great Multiverse of Madness latest obsession T-shirt available. There it is. Shattered Madness
Whoa.
is the name of that shirt. That's a limited edition, special run shirt from our friends at the Epic Hero Shop. That is a design we not only contributed to, but that it directly supports all the work we do here at New Rockstars. So check that shirt out. Grab one for yourself.
Yeah, have a little fun. Speaking of fun, it's time for mandatory fun.
Oh, no.
Roll my graphic.
Roll my graphic.
Oh, I love it.
I thought you would have forgotten over the weekend about this.
No, everybody was furious Friday that there was no mandatory fun. Roll that graphic again for all the people that were furious.
Read the graphic names.
Mandatory meeting, mandatory training, mandatory office work, mandatory fun. As everyone knows, this is the segment that has been sweeping the nation, going virus on all platforms.
Going virus.
This is where I take my 3 best friends in the whole wide world and I make them have a little non-optional joy with me. And guess what? It's not weird. It's fun, and it's mandatory fun. And today we're talking about the Illuminati, okay? They got Illuminati in the movie. Spoiler alert now, put the frame up. There it is. Illuminati got Wanda. They wandered off the plane of existence, all right? So we decided it was time to cast their replacements. I gave each one of you an assignment to select 6 new members from across the pulp culture, some pulp removed, pop culture universe, and then even fill that mysterious empty 7th chair. Which one of you would like to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
And just to be clear, we are filling out our own Illuminati.
this is Illuminati.
I want to make sure I got the instructions right, but these are from not Marvel Illuminati.
These
This
are
is
from all
other
over the
realms.
pop culture universe.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, let's face it. We're going to need a new Illuminati. If you've seen the movie, it didn't go well for them.
It didn't go well.
Someone got turned into string cheese.
Yeah.
And so I was assigned to make an Illuminati for the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
And now we're supposed to replace people, right?
Yes,
We're supposed to be
absolutely. We're recasting.
I had to write mine down. I did them on Slack, but we're not allowed to have computers.
I wrote
on
mine
the
down
break
too.
room.
Don't worry about it. You're fine.
We can't have computers in the break room because we might cry for help.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. My Professor X. I mean, this is a gimme from the Star Wars universe. It's Yoda. I mean, you gotta have Yoda on there. Like,
Yes.
you gotta have the old guy leading the gang.
Yes.
For my Mr. Fantastic, this is gonna be a Swerve-a-Rooney.
Whoa,
Okay?
I love a Swerve-a-Rooney.
General Grievous.
Whoa.
He's back. He's back, and in this universe, he's on the Illuminati.
Is this just because he has long arms?
He's got long arms, and he's a tactician, right? He's very smart.
Oh, right.
He knows how to do battle plans, even though the Clone Wars do him real dirty. They make him real dumb in
Booker
the Clone
T's
Wars.
finishing move, right? The Swerve-a-Rooney?
The Swerve-a-Rooney. My Mordo, you gotta go Lando Calrissian, my guy.
yeah.
Not
Is that just race matching?
No, that is not just that, okay? I think it fits in, right? Because
Why are you standing up?
Mordo's
leg is
like
cramping
second
up.
fiddle. Mordo's second fiddle
Yeah.
to Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
right? Lando, he's second fiddle to Han. Okay, he's second fiddle.
No, that's fair.
You can't have Han on the Illuminati. He would never do it, but Lando would join the
Oh,
Illuminati.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
For my Black Bolt, I have the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn. He's my Black Bolt.
Oh, I like
This
that.
Star Wars
That's fine.
Illuminati's got a Force ghost on it. It's my boy Qui-Gon. They did him dirty, man. But he was out there. He banged Anakin's mom. Anakin
yeah.
is really Qui-Gon Jinn's son.
Yeah.
Don't listen to what the Emperor
Just like
said.
Mordo.
Don't listen to what the Emperor
right
said.
here.
Qui-Gon showed up to Tatooine a few years ago, met this woman, and when he showed up again, she was like, I don't know you. And he's like, you know me. You know what we did.
That's right.
You know.
My Captain Marvel's R2-D2.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta have him. R2-D2 knows everything about the universe. He's so smart. He's there for everything.
Sure.
He can get out of any situation. He's very important.
Jess, can you do your R2-D2 impression for us?
Yeah. Good every time.
Better. That ages like
me every
wine.
time.
My Captain Carter is Rey Skywalker. You gotta have her in there.
Yes.
Okay.
She's like a good Captain Carter type. Like she's late to the game. She's very powerful, super powerful, very strong, super powerful, very strong. They all say she's super powerful. Anyways,
She came up to me yesterday,
my-
tears in her eyes. She said, Brandon.
lots of folks are saying it's super strong. That
So
Rey
powerful.
Skywalker, so strong, got the Skywalker name, good breeding. They say the Emperor was a dad. I don't think so. And then finally, my empty chair. It's Jar Jar Binks, baby.
Yeah.
He's in the empty chair because he got too dark. He turned to the dark side.
Whoa.
And you want to cut his head off.
That's
Okay.
right.
Bada bing.
Jar Dark.
Jar Jar Binks.
Whoa.
That's my Star Wars Illuminati.
I'm having a real hamstring issue right
Okay,
now. I'm
dude,
going to have
dude.
to stand up.
Okay, got a little
Walk
Charlie
that
horse in
thing
this
out.
side of the
I just
table.
loved it so much.
How about
This is, it's live because I would never humiliate myself physically if I wasn't in some severe pain right now.
I shouldn't be laughing.
Jessica, you go next.
can we get some hydration for Tommy,
Can I
maybe?
get some electrolyte tablets? Pinch of salt, maybe. Anyone here know CPR? I might drop.
To your leg?
Okay, I don't know. That was weird. That happens a lot. Maybe we need another fitness challenge. Philip? All right. Jessica, you want to go? Or
I don't know if Jessica can go.
Zach, maybe you should go.
Okay, so I'll go. I got a little meta on mine. I have the Illuminati of Hollywood film directors.
Yes, which some would say is real.
Yeah, that's actually the true
Alex
Illuminati.
Jones is watching right now, and he's like,
yeah.
we're going to report on this tonight.
Yeah, depending on where you stand on the QAnon spectrum. So my Professor X, I mean, there's a couple of good potential ones, but I went Spielberg, right? Still relevant to this day, one of the all-time greats.
Yes.
A dean of directors,
Yes.
Spielberg.
A statesman.
For my Reed Richards, smartest man in the world, I went with Christopher Nolan.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
You know, you've got to be pretty smart to be coming up with films that elaborate. Okay. For my Captain Marvel, I went Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
That guy could do anything. Very powerful. Right. I feel like we're still recovering from Tommy's Charlie horse.
I'm learning.
We are all Tommy's Charlie horse.
Jessica's barely recovering.
I stand with Tommy's Charlie horse.
Or I can't stand with Tommy's Charlie horse.
I sat with Tommy's Charlie horse.
John, can you bring me some tissue?
Where was I? Guillermo del Toro's Captain Marvel. Oh, Black Bolt. Here, this is the thinker. I went with the Coen brothers because much like Black Bolt, they don't speak that often, but when they do, it's powerful. Okay. For my who's left? Mordo, I went with, and now I'm the thing I accused Brandon of matching the black guys. I did go with Spike Lee. Okay. I think that's just how the paper lined up. I don't know that there's any thought behind it other than that.
Yeah.
And then
Jess, we're out of here.
Captain Carter. Who did I put? Captain Carter. Oh, I went with Catherine Bigelow.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I needed. Now Hollywood doesn't give me a lot of female options for directors. That's their fault, not mine. Okay.
Zach, got
Their
it.
fault, not
Got
mine.
it.
Not a lot of women directors. But Catherine Bigelow, because she can do the stuff just as well as the man can.
That's
She's
right.
great at making action movies. Point Break. Look it up. K-19, The Widowmaker.
Yeah, look it up.
Near Dark, a great vampire movie. Catherine Bigelow.
Hurt Locker.
Yes. And then
You didn't start with Hurt Locker?
I should have started with
Yeah.
Point Break.
Zero Dark
Or
30.
Zero Dark 30?
Point Break's a great 90s action movie.
One of the finest movies of all time.
I mean,
and the
that's fine,
remake,
but one
even
of those
better. No,
guys-
I'm kidding.
Okay, no.
Don't watch the
She
remake.
had nothing to do with the
I
remake.
know, I know.
And then my empty chair, just for a curveball, I went with Paul Thomas Anderson. Just because I'm a
Yes.
film geek and I love me some Phantom Thread or The Master.
Plus,
Okay.
it's because of him and Quentin Tarantino that Fiona Apple doesn't do cocaine anymore.
Oh, well, thank you.
What?
Thank you, PTA.
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, they were so insufferable in a movie theater one night. They talked at her for like 9 hours, and she's like, I don't think I can do this drug anymore. One more dollar till I get to say another swear. All right. So that's a great list, Zach. Thank you very much. We're going to about 90 more minutes of mandatory fun, and then we'll get moving on the rest of the show. Jessica, you ready to go?
Yeah, I stopped crying.
Oh, good.
He was making me laugh so hard. So I chose mine as the Fox animated shows. Fox animated shows, and I put Professor X as Mr. Burns.
Yes.
good.
Because it goes out saying, unlike you two, I put Stewie Griffin as Mordo.
Oh, okay.
Because,
It's very maniacal.
Yeah, thank you. I put Roger the Alien as Captain Marvel.
Oh, perfect.
Because
Yeah.
an
That makes
alien.
sense.
I put Captain Carter as Linda Belcher.
Oh.
Because that would be very fun and cute. Black Bolt, I put as Boomhauer. Because you're not supposed to.
You can understand what he's saying? I like it.
Speaking a lot of English.
It's really hard. There is an available swear, and I don't want to hog all the swears.
Oh, so it's mine?
So
Well,
use it,
Jessica,
yeah.
want to finish up with a good swear?
Yeah. And I put Bender as Mr. Motherfucking Fantastic.
Oh, he can stretch. He can
Yeah, because you can stretch.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And
Come on,
I didn't know that.
another $100. I gotta swear, I gotta rip off.
And I didn't know we were supposed to do the empty sheet. So I guess for my empty sheet, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Just
I thought we were
listed
just
in
doing
Slack
sick.
3 times.
I thought we didn't have Slack. I'll give it to Duncan from Duncanville.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll cut you some slack for that, Slack. All right, well, I made a list myself before ripping it up.
Can you read it?
I did cereal mascots.
Oh, okay.
Of course, the leader of the cereal mascots is the great Tony the Tiger as Professor X.
I like that.
I have Toucan Sam taking over for Mr. Fantastic.
Okay.
Just follow my nose. He's kind of a know-it-all. Thinks that he's like, I can do all
I
this.
wish people could see what you wrote.
Yeah, I had to do
because
some
you crossed it out and then you ripped it.
And again, I know I'm part of the problem, and I'm just race combining again. I had the Trix Rabbit as Mordo because they're both always deceitful, right? They're always pretending there's something they're not. Mordo, my old friend and brother, welcome back. Backstabbed Doctor Strange in that
Technically, the
universe.
Trix Rabbit is confirmed white, right?
Yeah, for sure. I was just
He's
joking.
literally.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's a white bunny. He's a white Christian bunny, and he's a great candidate for the next president of the United States, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, Captain Crunch would be Black Bolt, because no one wants to hear that guy speak.
No one wants to hear that guy speak.
Captain Marvel would be the Cheerios Bee. I think we all understand why. Flying around, mysterious origins. Why can he speak? For Captain Carter, I have the Weetabix Mongoose. Who is the Weetabix Mongoose?
Who is the Weetabix
Something I made up, but I know Weetabix is a British cereal, so enjoy that. That's right. I've got a little knowledge of the UK. And of course, in my empty chair, it's that stupid Cookie Crisp dog. That always got the guy in trouble because the guy was about to steal the Cookie Crisp, and the dog was like, "Roar! Roar!"
Maybe don't take the dog on your caper.
That's what I'm talking about. Commercial dogs are always stirring stuff up. Well, if I've learned one thing from commercials, this is don't own a dog. Don't own any pets. Pets are overrated.
Get out of
Team
here.
no pets.
Get out of
I'm
here.
just kidding. I love pets.
Team pets.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up mandatory fun here, but I did leave one little element of this competition out because I wanted to kind of put you guys on the spot. Unfortunately, Wanda has just arrived at your guys' Illuminati temple, and I'm going to need each one of you to describe the graphic death scene of one of your new Illuminati. The winner will receive a prize. I'll go first just to kind of set the tone.
Okay.
Mine's actually a twofer. As Tony the Tiger is bravely trying to talk Wanda, you're great, and she's like, Tony, I wish it hadn't come to this, and she's twisting him up. All of a sudden, the Cheerios bee comes flying in, and Wanda does this and spikes him into the ground, stinger first. So his only choice to remove himself from where he is stuck is to rip his own stinger out, taking his own
Oh,
life.
I like that.
She gives him the choice: save your precious Tony the Tiger, or maybe I'll let you live. The Cheerios bee, in an act of heroicism, severs his stinger from his cute little bee booty, and then he flies towards Tony the Tiger, and as he's flying towards, a bolt of red magic slices him in half like a Thanksgiving ham. You know, the classic meal for Thanksgiving.
The classic
ham.
sliced in half Thanksgiving.
Yeah, just like Mom used to
Just
make.
one slice.
Okay, very
All right.
cinematic.
Thank you, thank you. Who can give me their next death?
In mine, for the Star Wars Illuminati, Wanda would turn R2 into a human.
Oh.
Like transfer him into a human, only would
Made
leave.
flesh?
Wow.
Yeah, made flesh, all of his parts made flesh. Finally, he's a human. He can feel, he can touch, he can love, except she doesn't change his blood. His blood is still oil. And he's slowly just like, is only alive momentarily before the blood,
Enough-
the oil curses through
Only
his
alive
veins.
enough to feel the pain
Yes.
of being a human.
Wow, that
And then he
is-
screams. And he dies.
Works every time.
He dies.
Excellent. All right, Jessica.
I think the only way it'll be really horrible is if I took my nicest character. So I think Linda Belcher is gonna run at her full speed, and she's gonna get stopped by Wanda. Wanda's gonna take her glasses off her face with her power, crush it, and then shove it down Linda Belcher's throat.
Oh my God.
So the glass gets swallowed down. She starts spitting up like blood, and then immediately she's like, "My kids, Bobby," and Wanda's gonna just break her neck.
Oh, love a
Gorgeous.
Belcher. And then for me, it would be Christopher Nolan lunges at Wanda. She freezes in midair with her magic and snaps his brain in half with plot logic.
Whoa.
Okay, she makes him go backwards in time while the rest of the scene goes forwards.
Wow.
Also, he's his own grandfather.
Yes.
And somehow incepts himself all at the same time.
Oh, beautiful. Disgusting.
Well, guys, this is a very exciting moment. Your nominees for Best Illuminati Death.
Oh, there's an award.
You guys, I want this trophy so bad.
In R2-D2 6 Feet Under, Linda Belcher belches out her glasses frames and black blood, evidently. Is that what you said? She had black blood inside
I
of her?
never said black blood.
Arthur has black blood.
Oil, right. Okay. And of course, Christopher Nolan, you played yourself. And the winner is,
Wait, are they voting or are you voting?
I'm voting. The Cheerios B, Tommy Bechtold. Oh my God, this is incredible.
The Academy is
incredible.
What is this, the Grammys?
Oh,
Get out of
guys,
here.
I'm sorry, I read it wrong. It's Moonlight. No. I'm gonna say R2-D2 spitting up.
Oh, beautiful.
Brandon's the winner.
The darkest.
You guys handle this. I'm gonna go pour a cup of water so I can try and figure out what's going on with my leg.
Well, yeah, we gotta get into this Q&A, right?
Yeah, we do. We need to get
We
into
have
this.
so many great questions.
So a couple of questions that we already got. Okay.
well, let's.
Do we want to go? Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
let's do
why do
some
we have
of our.
two?
Okay. So Skylar Aldrich asked. He said in a super chat, if you know how Secret Wars plays out, and if you know how Secret Wars plays out, then you know that Doctor Doom plays a huge role in that story.
Yeah.
If they don't use Doctor Doom, then who would you like to see fill his place as the God King?
I want it to still be Doctor Doom, but I think a good setup is Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kang, right?
It's so good of a setup right now, but I still need Doom. And I think Kevin Feige knows that. I think Kevin Feige's like, everyone keeps harassing me about Doctor Doom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's such a great villain, such an iconic villain.
Well,
Why not find a place for him?
And
right?
now that they brought in, which we can talk about later. So now that they brought in the Fantastic Four, like we now saw Mr. Fantastic get ripped to shreds like a little piece of paper. And I like the idea that he's dead. And so when we do see the Fantastic Four, it's just Susan being like, my husband's dead and I have all my kids left behind. Doom could still come, like Doom has potential to now officially come in with that.
Or any other multiverse,
Well, I love
right?
the
Can have
idea
a Doom
of
as
like
That's true, any other
a
multiverse.
Fantastic Four that escapes the incursion in their universe and comes to ours. 'Cause, like,
Did
don't
they
have a
get an
home.
incursion because
Well-
of the Doctor Strange being there?
Well, yeah, maybe so we know like from the movie, right? 838 incurred with another one and wiped out that entire civilization. What if somehow that Mr. Fantastic and his family and the Fantastic Four got out?
They escaped,
and
yeah.
they come to like the
and that's
616.
why we have, and
That's why
that
we
could
haven't
be the
had one.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And that could be the Fantastic Four.
I like that idea. Carlton Childs asked a question that we were just talking about, Brandon. Why didn't the Spider-Man and villains in No Way Home cause an incursion? Right? Can they only be caused by Strange and Kang? I'm confused on this.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about it like, so the way they described incursions in this film, like in the comic books, a lot of times they just kind of happen naturally. Like if you imagine universes out there, one day like our Milky Way galaxy will collide with another galaxy. And galaxies are mostly empty, but things can hit, blah, blah, blah. The movie, it kind of set it up that like anyone dealing with the Darkhold and doing this dream walking, they're using dark magic, which comes from the dark dimension, which is Dormammu's dimension, to like, dream walk into someone else. I think using the Darkhold and using that dark energy, the dark dimension kind of exists in between universes, right? So when you start messing with that, you're wearing down that buffer zone between universes, and I think that's what causes the incursion.
Yeah.
So something like Spider-Man's villains jumping over, like that's not causing, because they're not using dark magic.
That was Strange's magic.
Yeah, that was just like,
So that's why like America Chavez can learn at Camertage, like she can learn Sorcerer Supreme things without disrupting that universe.
Yeah, because that's a good point. Like America Chavez is going to different universes, right? She's not causing incursions.
Right.
That's because she's using her own magic to do it. She's not using like that dark magic.
Got it.
Specifically, that dream walking thing is what was cited as that can cause incursions.
Because I think, talking about like the Spider-Man villains, everyone's like, why would Doctor Strange do that crazy spell that's so powerful? But he says in that movie, right, we've done this Runes of Kafkal spell all the time. But I think that's because He Who Remains was in place. And so they were doing this powerful spell, and if things were going wrong, he was pruning it.
Yeah.
But now that he's gone, and like as Kevin Feige had said, his death means that like that spell can go wrong. So it was always a powerful spell. They just had no idea how powerful
I do love
was.
it that like the MCU, is particularly the sorcerers, have been bowling with bumpers
Yeah, they had
in
no
the gutters
idea.
this whole time. They thought they were just great at throwing strikes, but really, he who remains was throwing bumpers up in the gutters, right? And now those bumpers are gone, and oh man, now we're getting gutter balls. Really pushing the bowling metaphors today.
I like it. You got more to spare, don't you?
Yeah.
If not, we'll strike them from the record.
I will
There it
say
is,
they
turkey.
did run a poll in chat, Tommy, and they voted your Illuminati death as the best.
Yeah, but that's just because mine
It's
was
very
the most
close.
profane.
Tommy's
Very
lovable.
close.
Everybody loves
This
it.
is so cool.
The Stealth
a
JH.
Make-A-Wish poll.
The Stealth JH asked, "Will Agatha seek revenge on Wanda's kiddos?"
Ooh,
Oh, that's fun.
dark.
I mean, I think Reed Richards' kids are going to
Yeah.
seek revenge on
okay.
Wanda.
And I can't wait because their daughter is so smart and powerful that it's like she could come back and kill.
Yeah.
Like especially when she's like a teenager, she
Right,
could be
right.
like, I'm gonna seek
Well,
revenge.
I mean, what a great thing too, because though, that Multiverse's Wanda was being possessed by a different Wanda, she was still the one who physically killed
Yeah,
those
that's
people, right?
Yeah.
And they're in the same multiverse. You don't even have to cross multiverses to track her down,
Well,
right?
and in the comics, Reed Richards' son, he can warp reality and create universes as he sees fit. Like, he's hyper powerful. So I don't know how powerful they're going to make him here, but like, he could certainly do something like that. I don't think, if anything, I think Agatha is the way we get 616 Wanda back. I think she's going to feel guilty for
right.
Once she
what happened.
realizes
when she breaks out of Westview, she's going to be like, it's my fault. Like,
Yeah.
I was trying to get the power away from Wanda because she didn't know how to handle it.
100%.
But in the end, I wound up giving her the Darkhold, and she ran off and did all this. I think she's going to feel bad and try and get her back.
and this could be the intro to the Agatha that we know that is like caring of Wanda.
Yeah, because in the
that
comic
takes
book,
care
she's
of
like
her.
a mentor.
Or I would say they
Wanda.
keep going down the road of Agatha not being a good character. Maybe she brings Wanda back to try to enslave her,
her
use
back.
her, whatever,
Well,
right?
and this movie has showed us that, like, the Darkhold, it possesses people. It drives them to be bad. Agatha had the Darkhold that whole time in
That's true.
WandaVision. So maybe she's
Black
been away
Phoenix.
from it.
Oh,
And
She
now she's
says
been
like,
reset.
I really screwed this up. I should have been
100%.
helping Wanda the whole time.
Because she had the Darkhold when she killed her entire coven, right? Because she had the black fingers in that
That's
flashback.
debatable. That's something I'll always debate about.
What
I
do you
don't know.
mean?
Well, they said that like you've been practicing magic, the darkest forms of magic, and I don't know that coven had the Darkhold.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think she gets it later. John and I fight about this all the time. I think this show will show us
Fisticuffs.
when she gets the Darkhold.
Yeah.
But like I don't think she had it when she stole everyone's power.
she
I think
stole
that was an
everybody.
innate power.
But
that
also,
she had.
it's never been stated explicitly that the Darkhold is the only source of dark magic.
No,
right?
no.
Caecilius was doing dark magic
Yes.
without the Darkhold.
Yeah.
I've
So
done a
it's
few
like-
dark spells
Yeah,
just
this
at
guy-
like my sister's softball games when I was
This
bored.
guy's hamstring just
Well,
went
this
to.
guy,
He said,
he's
"Oh,
definitely
the
got some
Darkhold."
dark light
I just
magic.
blew some god darn ligaments in my legs. That's fine. I'm gonna. You know
Andrew-
what? Today's the first day of the rest of my life. Okay.
Yeah.
Diet starts Tuesday.
Andrew
Quick pizza
Claridge.
tonight, and then we're back in
one?
it.
Oh yeah, once Tommy is done. Andrew Claridge said, "Do you think Mordo of 818 will steal revenge and chase Strange and Clea through the other dimensions? Because from his perspective, all his buds are dead, and it's kind of Strange's fault."
I mean, also, 616 Mordo's still out there. We didn't
That
see him in
one-
this movie, but he's out there.
He's still out there, and then so is Christine. And Christine is studying the multiverse. So I'm like,
Right.
I would hope that Christine's like, my Doctor Strange went mad off of this stuff. I don't want to give this to Mordo, but it's like he can still technically.
Well, and 838 Christine might take over the Baxter Foundation now with Sue or something like that, right? She was a senior fellow. You know,
true.
I'm sure Reed Richards was in charge of everything, but now he's gone. And Sue in that universe was probably like, hey, I didn't like the guy anyway. He was kind of,
He kinda
he's kind of an
sucked.
arrogant
He
asshole.
kinda sucked.
But I love the idea of 838 Christine being like, okay, that one stranger's fine. Let's leave him alone. The other ones are problems.
the Strange is fine, but
Yeah,
the rest
yeah.
we still need to figure out.
That's strange.
Anthony Vigil has a great question. How do you feel about them calling the MCU Earth 616? We're gonna probably do a video about this on the channel. Like that's a thing, right?
And maybe a lot of the viewers know this, right? But like traditionally, there are numbers assigned to all these different like in canon universes. The comics universe currently is Earth 616.
Yeah,
right?
main Marvel comics was always 616. They've kind of toyed with that a little bit, but like it's usually what it is. And then like the Ultimates had its own number. All the ones have their, and they've actually kind of ended the Ultimates universe and brought some of the favorite characters into 616.
And previously, the MCU, the film version of Marvel, had been referred to as Earth 199999, right?
Yes, and that was kind of based on a joke Kevin Feige said once, where they were like, "What's the MCU's designation?" He was saying it as like, "I hope the MCU goes for 19,999 years, so we'll call it Earth 1999." Now I was looking. There was an interview done in 2021 with a producer on What If, I believe. And they asked him the same question, and he was like, no, the MCU is Earth 616. And we heard New Rockstars, we were kind of like, well, he's just a producer. Maybe he doesn't know. We have to listen to like what Kevin Feige says.
We never listen to our producers.
We never listen to our producers, that's for
John.
sure. So I think between like that, what we saw in Loki, where the film strip said 616 of one of Loki's memories, between, I don't know how Mysterio and the writer working for Mysterio knew that it was called 616.
Well, I
maybe
mean,
he saw it in a dream.
I do like the idea because, like, if you're in the MCU, if you're a character in the MCU, like comic books of Marvel characters don't exist.
Well, but they kind of do. There's a Captain America comic books.
Yeah, but there's not an Amazing Spider-Man. There's not X-Men. There's not New Mutants or something like that within the MCU. So to them, they are the main universe. They would be 616, right?
Yeah.
Right. Someone asked, that kind of goes along with this. So it says John Krasinski, 616, Reed Richards confirmed. So
that was, Allison Becker, 94, asked, is John Krasinski 616?
Definitely not
I mean, he's
confirmed.
gotta be, right?
That movie, well, that movie's not even on the
But he's
Fantastic
yet,
Four?
right? Well, I mean, they want to make it, but it doesn't even have a director right now. So, like, they haven't gotten to the point of casting, I would assume, right?
But this is what he's always wanted to be. He's always wanted to be Reed Richards.
Chris,
The Crash
been talking
Man?
about this since grad
Also,
school.
do you think the movie is going to take place before he dies?
Or it's
the-
a different version.
Or is it
Yeah, I
different
imagine.
was saying.
I want it to be that
It's
same
not
universe.
838,
I want it
yeah.
to be. I want it to be, and I want it to be before he
I mean,
dies.
I hope they do a Fantastic Four movie, and like the end of the end credit is like Sue and the kids from 838 coming over and being like, "We need our dad back."
Frey Girl says, "How do you think Wong will react to Clea?" Which
Oh,
I think is
baby.
which Wong, poor Wong.
Wong's girl
Poor
got done
Wong.
dirty. She got burned to a crisp.
What? That was not a
Sarah
love.
was her name?
Yeah, Sarah.
She
Sarah.
said, "I got this,"
Yeah.
and then just
Dude,
I
and
was like,
as
great
she's
for
getting
her.
turned to ash,
Still
a
cries.
tear.
Yeah.
How does that even work if your body's literally
I
going
don't,
like,
well, when you burn a body, they do a lot of weird stuff. It's really interesting.
Also, did they show a burnt body in that
They
movie?
straight up-
Not just her when they pass over.
Not
like,
even like they showed up. They showed a lot of
was
dead
it.
bodies,
I mean,
and then her
there were a lot of
crawling-
kids in my theater, and as the movie was
was
going
like,
on, I was like, "You gotta get this kid
there was a
out."
kid
100%.
babbling behind us
100%.
last Thursday who sounded like they might have been 5. Now, this movie is PG-13.
It's PG-13.
And there's a bit
It
of a
was not
controversy
PG-13.
online. It trended on Twitter that like, whoa, is this movie too heavy, too dark to be
Loved it.
PG-13?
What is
Loved
wrong
every
with people?
moment of
It's not real. It's not real.
Well, they also said bring a 13-year-old to, or like
A
parental
13-year-old's
guidance.
different.
suggestions.
Like,
I-
what are we
I-
supposed to
I
do?
tell
Just
that to
not watch
everybody.
things anymore? Listen, when I was 7, I watched Evil Dead. Okay? And it made me
The man you are
the
today?
man I am today.
Is
which
this
the
a
man
good example
who
of
sleeps
watching?
with multiple lights on?
I don't
in
think
his
it's a good
room
example.
to keep the monsters away. Is on several prescription medications to control his mood and brain, and doesn't like to walk alone at night, despite being 6'1" and well over 300 pounds. Because guess what? Guess who doesn't care about your size? Demons.
So this is an argument for watching this movie.
Oh yeah, show your kids some movies and they'll be just like me.
I have been watching horror movies since I was like in 3rd grade, and I will say when she crawls out of that mirror like the Grudge,
Yes.
when she comes crawling out and twist, I was like, yeah, this is what nightmares are made of. Like I watched like freaking 13 Ghosts and was like, I'm never gonna be the same.
Yeah, 13 Ghosts was scary.
No, I think, you know what I look forward to in 15, 20 years? The number of people that will be our age then, right? Who will be like, what's the first movie you saw that messed you up?
And they're like,
For a lot of people, it's going to be Multiverse of Madness, right?
I love that.
But back to like Clea, I really, I marked out when we saw Charlize Theron appear as Clea because I have been waiting for her to get in the MCU. She's like the last major like action female star that they haven't cast yet. Once they had like Angelina Jolie and like Salma Hayek, I was like, when are they gonna get good old Charlize Theron in there? And there she is. It's Clea. What a great character,
And we
too.
know Charlize can work, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
she can do
yeah,
some
she can
stunts.
do
She's
stuff.
very active. Like we saw in The Old Guard and in Fury Road and a lot of stuff, right? Like if they let her, if we get to see her do some stuff sometime soon, like she'll go all out.
Great reindeer games too.
I don't think Wong is gonna be happy though.
Wong's not gonna be happy.
Especially when he sees his third eye. He's gonna be like, oh, great.
But I kind of like this idea that Wong stays Sorcerer Supreme, stays on Earth, deals with that, and now Strange can go have some wild adventures.
I see a good one here. Pandemic Jones. Don't love the name, but I appreciate the question. Do you guys think Scarlet Witch is the best villain we have gotten in an MCU movie? This was the first MCU movie where I really thought anyone could die.
This is my favorite villain in general.
Well, it's rare that we get a villain that we've known for a while before the movie.
That's what makes her the best villain, is her storyline is so long. Yeah. It's like how we feel about Loki, how Loki was so emotionally driven for us. It's because we've been with Loki for so long. We've been with Wanda for so long. We saw her life. We saw the people that died with her. Yeah. And then just to see her in WandaVision get torn apart again. And then in this movie, we're just supposed to be like, yeah, what she's doing is not justified. Which it isn't. I don't think killing a lot of innocent people is, but it was just like, I can see the emotion behind her. And I love a justified villain, and this is a justified villain.
Yeah, I think this is like, since Thanos was great, and they had tons of movie to kind of develop him, and he got 2 movies, and we got to learn about his like, you know, what motivates him, what his drivers are. I think this is like a great step up from that. And they did it in one movie that was only 2 hours.
Yes.
Like, is incredible. And yeah, we have all this backstory to go on, but it was really cool to see what she could do.
There'll be some, there'll be some people that will make some arguments for a Killmonger here, a Thanos there, even a Zemo has his acolytes out there, right?
Yeah.
But I would agree, only because
Zemo
like,
stands.
she's been a hero, and it's also, this is one of the first times we've seen villains turn to heroes like Bucky, right?
She did it in the first movie that she was in.
Right,
Age of Ultron.
really? Yeah. She's done the full circle.
Yeah.
She started villain, spent a lot of time as a hero, came back as a villain. Yes.
She's gone full
You know what?
circle.
There's a good argument. I think Jessica kind of just convinced me. I might go in that
I
direction.
love her. Love
This is-
Killmonger too.
This is a great point here. Red Angel 525 says, will the Darkhold still exist through Doctor Strange photographic memory? That's good, right? That's good.
Now that is that is not even a question. I think that's a statement.
I mean,
because
that's
he
good.
still can.
So is there a Darkhold, a Wonder Gore Mountain in every universe, we would assume?
Oh, that's right. So the walls still exist, maybe in other dimensions.
I was kind of blown away, and they're like, oh, she destroyed the Darkhold in every universe.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. That's a big deal.
They only knew that because one other Darkhold disappeared.
I mean,
And it was the one where he was dreamwalking in that other universe.
Yeah, but the rule of averages, if you see that one, I mean, you got to assume an infinite.
Is it like
universe.
Occam's Darkhold?
Yeah. We'll take it at face value, right? But does every temple get destroyed? Like, that's an idea.
I won't take it at face
Take
value.
it at face
And
value.
I have one other question. Why, once Wanda figured out that there were multiverses, obviously her children that she fabricated with her mind report, why wasn't she looking for Pietro, her brother, who died?
There's a difference between being a mom and being a sister.
I understand that, but I mean, I know her obsession with her children that were not real was a
They're
symptom.
real, Tommy. This is the problem.
But don't you think
they're not real?
No, I think I hear what you're saying, Tommy.
You drove her to this.
But because also, Tommy, but you're right, because like she could have been looking for a universe where Pietro and Vision were both still alive.
Yes.
I think part of it is one reason she was so attached to those kids is because her grief for Pietro and Vision was like channeled through these kids.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what
right.
they came from.
Yeah, you're
so really,
right.
just in trying to find the kids, she's also trying to find.
No,
both of them.
that's fair. I rescind my comment, but I will say one of my favorite comedians, Joel Kim Booster, had a great tweet that
I saw that.
That was, all of this could have been prevented if even one of the other Avengers just maybe called Wanda once or twice to check in and see how she was doing.
Reach out to your
They
friends.
were all just like, you're good.
Reach out.
I think
fun.
the thing about it is I just think they're too afraid of her, which rightfully so. I would be like, I can't fight her, especially after hearing about what she did to Westview. I'd be like, yeah, I can't.
They also might not
I'm
have been able to
horrified.
find her.
Yeah, I guess like
Doctor
Hawkeyes
Strange might
are
be
in
the only
this.
one who knew how to find
Are we
her.
not getting
Well,
crazy?
Bruce Banner could find
The
her.
last thing she wants to do is talk to like Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I mean,
Yeah, it's Paul
Bucky and
Rudd.
her could connect on having some shared trauma. I don't
Ding
know.
dong, who's there? Oh, it's me, Ant-Man. All right.
It's just Paul
not
Rudd
home.
making those like cutesy Paul Rudd faces. Like,
Yeah.
I think the only one she could connect with is probably Spider-Man, and she doesn't remember who he is.
We've got a lot of good multiverse questions here.
Someone said, "Here's $5." From here's $5.
We're making Zach read them from as
Thank
far
you.
away
Here's
as
$5.
possible.
Ray JSP.
Ray J. Ray J's in here.
He's one of my favorite actors.
Ray JSP said, "Do you think the character of Franklin
You ever seen his
Richards?"
tape?
will be explored now that 838's Reed admitted to having children. A possible revenge from this OP character. Yeah, I think that's like kind of what we mentioned.
Yeah.
They have a lot of options for how to introduce the Fantastic
Wait,
Four.
Though this world, right, of 838 that has like essentially become like this utopian paradise in some ways. If they see now, and they've been messing with the multiverse, but they've been on top the whole time. Now that they've seen this, they might shut down the doorways. They'd be like, we're not going anywhere else.
Also,
ever
think
again.
about, I mean, the next time we see 838, it might be wrecked.
Yeah.
There's a power vacuum at the top. All their mightiest heroes just got slaughtered.
It's
right?
Mordo at the top now.
Do we
And he's
think-
in a pit.
Can't get out of the pit.
I don't think that, I don't know, they clearly don't really intervene, but do you think that we might get a Watcher soon that's like, everything's gone to hell. I'm looking in the camera right now and I see how bloodshot my eyes are from crying and laughing and I hate it. But if the Watcher shows up, that'd be so great because that's the biggest person that could honestly intervene and probably won't.
Tight leg Tommy did almost as much damage to this panel as Wanda did to the Illuminati. Okay.
You know, you guys crack jokes and you're the heroes. I get a little leg cramp and I'm a monster. Doesn't seem fair.
AMV asks, couldn't Earth 838 use the time stone to reverse the Illuminati's death? Thanos never got it.
Oh, good point. Eric pointed out in the breakdown that when we saw dead Thanos, right, he did not have all the stones in the gauntlet.
But they talked away their Doctor Strange. Who's going to use this time stone, right? Who's going to do the spell? Who's going to do the spell, I asked.
I like that the way Black Bolt took him out was to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it still doesn't. If you're an abuser and you say, I'm sorry, and still hurt the
While you
person.
murder somebody, it's still not great.
Cool.
Our good friend Chrissy, I assume this is our Egyptologist friend Chrissy, asks, I've never seen any Star Wars movies or shows, but I'm planning on watching them all soon. Should I go in release order or chronological order?
I think we have
if you
videos on our
could-
channel about this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you could, I would say go in chronological order.
Go release. You got to go release.
I would love to do release, but okay, different people here. Different people here between me and Brandon. Brandon's very smart and I'm very stupid. I have
that's
such a
not
hard
true.
time.
True.
I have the hardest time keeping up with the order of what it is chronologically. Every time we talk about Star Wars, I go, Brandon, where are we? I'm like, where does this take place?
I think Eric has in that one of those videos. There's a cute way to do it.
Yes.
You start with episode 4, New Hope,
Yes.
and then you jump back to the prequels,
Yes.
get all that information, and then get back on track. Yeah.
Also, but
That's
what's
a lot
the
of fun.
problem with
Listen.
going chronologically, it's fun.
Well,
Because
also,
there's all these in-jokes you don't get.
Yeah, and also there's a lot of series, right, are getting, depending on when you start and when you finish, Chrissy, that might change, right? As series are getting inserted into the middle of the
That
chronological
is true.
order.
That is true.
She's
that is true.
chronological, he's release date, but somehow they make it work.
I already answered this, but we're gonna say it anyways. Whiskey Bravo 85 asks, could Agatha House of Harkness play a role in bringing Wanda the Scarlet Witch back to the MCU? Hell yeah, it could. My girl Agatha's gonna bring Wanda back, baby.
Great
and
minds
all
think
you people
alike.
are gonna suffer for that.
Yeah.
How dare you let her
Someone
die?
said when will Kang appear in the MCU, but he's definitely coming back in.
Well, we know Ant-Man and the Wasp
Ant-Man
is
and the Wasp.
confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wandamania.
But I think like Secret Wars or Secret Invasion could have a little Kang action in it.
Jacqueline Jones, that's a great name, by the way, Jacqueline. Thanks for giving me Ding Dong Dixon. Can't wait to use that one.
Hey, you're more than welcome, guys. Ding Dong Dixon is for everybody. It's the most profane word in the world.
We
The
kind of
secret
teased
word.
this a little bit. Moda Awesome asked, how the heck did Mysterio know it was Dimension 616? Could he be playing a bigger role in secret like Doctor Doom, maybe? So really, we should credit his writer, because remember he had I forget the guy's name. Guterman. There was like a whole team working on the Mysterio project.
Yes.
And the writer wrote in the like 616, I assume.
I
came up with that lore. I love the idea that he had a dream one night and it was like his version. And
Well, I
another
mean, we
man.
know dreams are you in a different dimension,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy thing that could be called back to that movie, and they could be like, yes, you were establishing it all along. I also wonder that we do know that there are Skrulls on Earth at that time, and ostensibly they could know about multiverses, so a Skrull could have whispered that knowledge into either Gutenberg.
Or that guy could be a Skrull.
Guterman could be a Skrull.
Guterman.
Yeah.
Guterman.
Steve Gutenberg could be a Skrull.
Confirmed Skrull. We know he's a cocoon. We know.
We know he's
he
a
helps
free man and a little lady.
We know he helps robots get back on their feet.
That's right, but can't talk much about that movie.
Deep cuts for the Zoomers watching.
She said, "Do you think they will pay off the Ned as a sorcerer plot point from No Way from No Way Home, or do you think that this one and done cheap MacGuffin?"
Well, I feel like we
I
got some
hope
good
not.
news here, or not. I hadn't heard this before that like in No Way Home that was originally scheduled to be America Chavez, who was going to be bringing in the different Spider-Man. They ended up moving around, and they gave Ned that ability instead, which is interesting. So it wasn't necessarily part of the long-term plot that Ned get to use sorcery. It's kind of a change of convenience. But that doesn't mean they won't use it going forward.
I feel
gotta
like you
bring it
have to
back,
use
right?
it. You have to use it. How are we going to address it? And then also his entire, like, the joke, I guess, or whatever, that his family are a long line of, like, magical people, and then he easily can just open a portal. I'm like,
Do you think he forgot about? Is that wiped from his memory? All that portal stuff?
Well, only like that Peter Parker is Spider-Man is technically the only thing that was
Right.
wiped from anybody's memory. So everybody still remembers the blip. Everybody remembers.
But he doesn't remember the fights, right? He
I
doesn't
think
remember the fights
because their
involved
masks
Spider-Man.
are on and off so much. I wonder if like all of that stuff from MJ and Ned gets wiped out more in a way. I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
but
we
he
saw
said
the
his
effects-
grandmother is the one who said it, or said that he had magic.
Right. But
Magic in the family.
but all our grandmas tell us we have magic,
Not
and that's why
mine.
they're beautiful grandmas.
Not mine.
But yeah, he might have forgotten that. I mean, we saw the effects of Doctor Strange being like, yeah, I don't know where his web comes from because he
Yeah, in
doesn't-
his butt. I
doesn't
hope
know
not.
anything.
I forgot that was a scene in the movie where he was like, I don't know. He was like, genuinely, I've never seen him.
Billy the Kid Lawrence, he had a good point. He says the Darkhold was a copy. He's quoting Wong. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon to the main timeline. Got it. Thanks, Wong. I mean, really trying to sink that one in there.
Love that.
Kevin Feige might send someone to your house to
Yeah,
silence
that's it.
you.
Billy the Kid,
But
watch
Agents
out.
of S.H.I.E.L.D. is definitely a different timeline. Maybe a branch timeline or possibly a whole other universe.
Yeah.
They have their own Darkhold in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It looks very different. It's got, it was in Runaways too. It's kind of sparkly.
Really quick, I just thought about this. Has nothing to do with S.H.I.E.L.D. What? So Doctor Strange remembers Spider-Man
Yes.
and knows Spider-Man. This
He doesn't
was
know who
known-
Spider-Man is. He knows there is a Spider-Man and that he
Oh,
works
because
with
that
them.
the spell was
Yeah,
no
yeah.
one knows
He
that
forgets that
Peter
Peter Parker
Parker,
is Spider-Man.
but he knows there is a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm an idiot. Got it. I feel like that changed everything that I thought about before. I did not know. I thought it was like all Spider-Man was gone. Okay, cool. Just clarifying.
Good. Chris Germano asks, are we sure Multiverse of Madness was our MCU and not a variant? Wasn't it confirmed that the MCU is Earth 19999? What if Multiverse of Madness Strange isn't ours? I mean, I don't think they're willing to do a whole movie and then later come back and be like, that was a different universe. I mean, this has got to be our universe. We've been going on the Earth 199999 thing because
1999.
Feige had said it, we had kind of adopted it. But this seems to kind of put it, we may have just killed off a universe in 19999999.
Do we want to go around really quick? Because we're talking about spoilers as it is, and we're getting closer to the end of this.
Yes.
Do we really want to quick go around? We can come back to questions too, but say our favorite part of the movie that we're not allowed to spoil.
I would love to do that.
Go ahead, Tommy. You got
I
one
have to
cooking?
go first. Yeah, my favorite part was the hell demons.
The hell?
Oh, you liked the
Oh, the black.
Yeah, I like the Dementors.
When that part. No, stop. But when that part showed up, I immediately was like, oh my God, is this how we're gonna see Mephisto? I immediately was like, holy shit, is Mephisto gonna show up? Is this how it happens? And then they didn't. But I was the entire time in the theater, I was like, I'm not ready for that.
I legitimately thought for 3/4 of that movie that they were gonna kind of half measure and justify Wanda's behavior by saying she was being controlled by a demon, like either Nightmare or Mephisto or something like that, where it was like someone's whispering into her ear and like.
And in some ways that was true, because like the Darkhold
Right.
kind of
corrupted her. Yeah.
right? Kind of corrupted her.
But I thought that I'm glad they didn't, because I think that would have kind of been like, oh well, she wasn't capable of being.
It's better if
Yeah,
it's her.
I agree.
I would say
100%.
I kind of agree. I was going to say that same thing for Tommy. The entire Zombie Strange sequence
Yeah.
I really enjoyed.
Yes.
But since Tommy already said it, I'm going to go. My second favorite. I mean, it's so wild and silly. That musical note fight.
Yes.
It was just like,
Yes.
yeah, that's something you never would have predicted being in a movie like
right,
this.
right.
It's genuinely surprising and wild and weird when
Yeah.
you watch it. Like, that's certainly like a scene I'm going to remember.
Yes, absolutely. I do think, and that's a good point, because there are like some of the middle Marvel movies that were coming out when we were getting like one a year. I have a hard time recalling specific scenes from unless I go back and watch them. And I feel like this movie, I could specifically tell you scene by scene what happened. It was like a lot of it was locked in.
So good. I didn't get tired at one point. Like that was the one thing that I took away. This is why I said it was my favorite movie so far for the MCU, because I was like, I didn't get tired at 1 second. There wasn't 1 second where I was like, oh, this is a long discussion. I was into it the entire time. With that being said, zombie Doctor Strange. I was like, every time we went to a different universe, I was like, okay, how are we gonna get the Marvel zombies? How are we gonna get the Marvel zombies? And then when he was like, they don't have to be dead or they don't have to be alive, I was like, oh my God. I was like, it is just him coming back. I was like,
That
him
was
coming back.
beautiful.
So I love that. And then obviously, like everybody else, when Mr. Fantastic showed up, because I did not expect at all for some reason for him to be a part of the Illuminati. I'm an idiot. I did not think about it.
I have a two-part answer to this question. The best scene in the movie, Pizza Papa always gets paid.
Yes, I mean,
Pizza Papa
I left that for
always
you
gets
because I
paid.
know how special it was for us.
Are you gonna get a
so
tattooed
incredible.
on you?
I'm gonna get the tattoo. If Disneyland doesn't start selling pizza balls at
Yeah.
They
Avengers
better,
campus,
they
I will
better, dude.
revoke my Magic Key status this moment. But really,
You hear that?
You hear that?
You hear that? What's his name? Michael Chavez? Who's the,
Bob Chapek. is
Bob
currently-
Chapek? Michael Chavez? Michael Chavez
Michael
like one of
Chavez,
those
if
weird.
you're out there.
Wasn't he the lead singer of Live? And
But I you know,
Lightning crashes.
I did really, I really enjoyed the sequence of like Wanda attacking Camertage.
Yes, that was cool.
From the cloud coming in slowly to her. I love that,
Whispering.
like, it's a huge cloud and she is very
Just
tiny when she
riding it.
emerges.
Yes.
And you're like, that doesn't seem
Whoa.
scary, but then like the whole sequence through the mirror
the
stuff.
magic arrows,
just like,
Where she goes, run. Every time I
Run.
thought she was finally like met her match, I was like, oh, thank God. And then I was like, how
And
was
if
she
you-
just walking through glass?
If you're a meme maker in chat, if you haven't already done the like run, bam, bam,
Yeah,
bam,
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 bam, someone edit that. Someone edit that in. That's
Also,
genius.
I got very confused. There was a green bull man there.
technically a woman. I think.
Rinta.
It's a woman?
Female bull, I believe, right?
Rinta.
I thought it was played by a man.
Well, I don't think a
named
bull
Adam.
can be
Oh,
a heifer, but
Well,
you
I don't
know.
think that was a real cow.
They used to call me a
I actually you do not talk about my friend Jessica like that ever. Ever.
John cracked up when I heard it.
Listen to me. That thing, that green bull came out of nowhere with no introduction.
Yeah.
And I felt very scared. I needed someone to explain. I needed
got a
him.
Funko Pop.
I needed him to be
Does
like,
it?
my name is blah, 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 and I'm a magic bull. Like, come on, man. Where'd he come from?
He came from the planet Heifer.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's in the Milky Way for
It's
sure.
in the Milky Way. It's part of
my
the,
God.
it's part of the whole steam
All right.
cluster.
Let's put a
okay?
bottle on this
On
one, guys.
On that note, thank you all so much for joining us. This is not the last time we're going to
No,
talk
we
about
got a lot
Multiverse
to
of Madness.
talk about.
We're probably going to be stringing this out all week, okay? So if we didn't get to your question, if you've still got some hot takes, some theories, some questions about Multiverse of Madness, come back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Ask it then. We'll probably be able to get to it then.
And if you saw the movie over the weekend, why not shoot us a tweet with if you took a picture, a selfie, if you wore a costume. Send us those. We like it.
As long as it wasn't Spider-Man.
Use the hashtag #BreakRoom.
Maybe send down a picture of your feet.
Do not send me your feet. If anyone sends me their feet, they will be auto-blocked. I don't care if you're a friend, if you're someone I interact with positively on social media. If you send me the feet, you will be deleted.
We've got a great week on the Break Room. All week, it's going to be a blast. And we're building up to this Friday. We're doing a very special Friday the 13th episode. Okay? We've got a lot of stuff planned. Fitting coming off of the scariest MCU movie that we're going to have a Friday the 13th.
I'm going to dress up like a murderer.
Ooh.
Guess what that's going to look like?
Dress to kill.
I'm going to dress up like Tommy.
So thank you so much for joining us. Hit that HelloFresh link in the description if you're looking to get yourself some HelloFresh. Otherwise, have a lovely day from all of us at the Break Room to you.
I
Thanks
like
so much.
that.
Go, baby.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Toodles, poodles.